Hello, I'm Jashykins, and yes, I'm finally at least feeling a little bit better still, but mostly feeling way better than I have the last couple days, which is why nothing really has come out on my blog for a little bit. But anyways, today I'm doing a little review of the latest Fringe episode, Brave New World Part 1. Where Spock goes evil. Well, technically not Spock. Leonard Nimoy is back to the show, which is a good thing, but he's evil. Yeah, it turns out that he's the one guiding Robert David Jones. I got his name confused. But anyways, he's the one that's actually behind it, and Robert David Jones is just a pawn in his game of chess. Yeah, so it's like, yay, Leonard Nimoy is back, he's evil! I mean, it's nice seeing a darker set of characters, but then it sort of makes you think, when did he turn evil? Has he always been evil? Since, in season 4, this is sort of an alternate timeline thingy-majig, but still, I don't know. Well, long story short, he might have not been evil originally, but might he really have? And this makes it so I'm like, damn it, now I want to go through the whole, first 3 seasons, or at least, when Leonard Nimoy appears, and I'm just like, yeah, it's just like, yeah. So, I'll be listening to, different views, especially the Fringe podcast, so, yeah, wow, Leonard Nimoy's evil. And, our Walter realizes that Belly is alive by, like, these nanobots. They're like William Bell's. Jones wouldn't do this. Belly would. Oh my god. And of course everyone was like, oh, you're crazy. And okay, this leads to at least one of the parts that just made me go, am I seeing that? Am I fucking really seeing that? And I go, oh my fucking god, it's an easy bake oven! Walter is using an easy bake oven. He is awesome. And it turns out that he was heating this pig's brain and the lemon cake he made on the easy bake oven. And so, yeah, that was just so that he could confirm to himself that William Bell was alive. And before I get near to the ending of the episode, there was a good Olivia moment with that, especially in the beginning of the episode. They're like, oh, talking about which part where they should move to, and Olivia's like, oh, what about the nursery? And they go to kiss, and then of course the call was interrupted. It's like, damn it. And I was really looking for the observer this time. Such as I would be I'm so glad I wasn't watching it with anyone else, because I'd be, going back, pausing, sort of going frame by frame sometimes. And I admit I did not do this throughout the whole episode. And I would want to say, oh, I probably missed it, and then read where you on the Fringepedia where the observer was this week. But there was no observer. So the first time I go crazy, there's no fucking observer. And please, anyone out there can correct this, can say where the observer was, please tell me. Or else I'll assume that there actually was no observer this week. Yeah, and the case this week was people spontaneously combusting, and where the nanobots comes in is they're the reason that people were just bursting into flames. Yeah. And I admit, one of my favorite parts was when Astrid just starts to fucking kick ass. I mean, I love Astrid. In my opinion, Astrid is like 10 times hotter than Olivia. She's just fucking awesome. So when she started going ninja like, I was like, best thing ever! And then she gets shot. And the only reason I think she's alive is that, remember the future episode where Astrid was on the train, and I knew that some harm was going to come to Astrid, just because me and Rev Resner were talking over the phone, and he's like, oh, someone dies, but I don't want to tell you because I know you'd be angry. Think of who wasn't on the train. And so I started to go over different people, and like, Astrid? And I'm like, dude, she was on the train at the end of the episode. He's like, oh. And I'm like, Astrid dies? Oh, there's probably going to be a happier episode. So basically, throughout this whole fucking episode, I'm like, when's Astrid going to die? But yeah, Walter and Astrid find William Bell by the fact that he likes these olives, and yeah. Oh, and Olivia shows a new form of power. She can now seemingly, slow molecules down, which is how she saved one of the victims, and she can take control of other people's bodies. Because, long story short, near the end, she physically couldn't do anything to get over to where Peter was being attacked by Jones. But then she, took control of Peter's body and started kicking ass that way. I was like, you can take control of my body anytime. Wow, that was weird. But yeah, so she's displayed two powers this episode. And what's funny about that is it brings us to what the glyph spelled this week. Powers. So yeah, maybe Olivia will be showing even more powers, which will be totally fucking awesome. I mean, they're taking control. Yeah. And hopefully, Astrid will get better, of course. And again, with the title of this two-part episode of Brave New World, it talks about basically conform or die. And it turns out that it's William Bell with the God complex. And so, yeah, I loved on the Fringe podcast last week how one of them, Clint or Daryl, I can't remember which one, was saying that what if Robert David Jr. Nope. Yeah, Robert David Jones was actually trying to prevent the observers. That was cool. The people on the Fringe podcast even, that's not likely what's going to happen, but it would have been cool. But it turns out it's Bell with the God complex. And of course, what I can't wait to see for next episode, especially that was hinted in the preview for next episode, that it's going to be a conversation between two friends. And really, that's always the saddest to go through. So to recap, glyphs, spell powers, there seems to be no news of the Observer this week. Says he took the day off. That's just really weird. The one day I tried to really look at for the Observer, yeah. But yeah. It was a good episode. It was definitely one of the episodes where I was like, I want to see what happens. Yeah, Astrid. Yeah, good episode. I enjoyed this episode, especially near the ending and the Easy Bake Oven. I'm not weird. Easy Bake Oven. Cooking, going fake brains and lemon cakes. And until next video, goodbye.